This is the technical handoff.
Sam is taking the baton.
I'm making the attempt to run the board and the live stream at the same time, which cannot be that hard, but you'd be surprised how many moving pieces there are to this. So, all right, we're trying to get a tight start here at 11:30, so we're closer. Got a few, looks like a few members watching, so we'll give it another minute or two before we get started here, and try and get 10, 15, maybe 20 before we really start to roll. Now, we are going to finish up on the alts that we missed yesterday because we ran long. And, it looks like we've just got one or two traditional assets posted up here. So the emphasis will be on alts today. We're going to start with that absolute bear that I had to deal with on the fly yesterday, a phantom. But I think with a little more time, was able to work out the count, since I'd mentioned I would do that. So let's see here. We got... let's try and get a few more. Another minute or two, we'll get it rolling. All right, so I got 710. I'll get a little more. There's Eighth and T coming in. Oh, so I can see who's here. Tezzy Jap, Random Joe. Appreciate you guys being here. Oh.
So if you see, I always add, if they're a member, either educational or social, they're going to have the wrench, which basically means moderator.
Okay.
So if you see someone without that, that means they're, and if they say, hey, I want to look at EOS to the dollar, and they don't have a wrench, just that's when you let them know, like, hey, $15 donation.
Yeah, I got it.
But if it's a member, they're going to have the wrench.
I got it. Okay. Tezzy Jap, how's it going, man? All right. Gorgila. Is that Wu Wonka? He's using Tezzy Jap? Okay. Well, Wu Wonka, you're next on deck. What'd you send me? SCRT to the dollar. You're up shortly. Mark Lane. Hey, man. Gojira. Maybe Sol USD will clarify. We looked at that. Oh, we looked at Sol to Bitcoin yesterday. That's where I think we looked at that. I think we did. Oh, you know what? I think we did Sol to the dollar. I might have to.
No, we did Sol BTC.
Oh, did we? Okay, good. I was thinking maybe we didn't. All right, guys, how we doing? So we got 10. Maybe give it another minute. Kurt A popped in. All right. Okay. All right, guys. Here let's give it a whirl here. See if I can manage to talk and chew gum at the same time. So I'm going to hide that. All right. So I thought I would start here, since this was a bear to do on the fly, right? It'd be hard for anybody to do on the fly because there's so much detail. So when you first look at the chart, it's fairly easy to kind of get a glimpse of what. So looking at it, your eye kind of wants to. Oh, come here. You kind of want this, right? It kind of feels like it's there, but to work through the subdivision was actually quite challenging. This took me about 20 minutes to do because I was kind of pissed I couldn't do it on the fly, but that can get pretty tedious. The really tricky part of this, I think, of the whole thing, I mean, the start was a little tight. This area here was the bitch, right? This is where there's no great answer here, and this it's likely 10 Elliotticians might count this a little bit differently. But what makes this so hard? So getting this up to the third here. I mean, this last little pump here was pretty tricky, and then you've got the little freestyle wick here. But coming off of this, so the WXY here, not outrageously challenging, right? You can see the last little 5 that comes down here. So just working backwards, you're just kind of, obviously a 3-legged swing here. You got a nice 3 into the B with a little expansion, but this is a bitch, right? So it starts and it looks like it's a clean start. So, here I got a little 5 and then I've got a clear 3. But you can't launch after that. So coming out of that, it's just process of elimination. There's only so many ways you can work with this. I considered multiples. Like, could this be the one, A, B? It wasn't as clean. So this 3 here has to be dealt with. But then what do you do with that? right? So your first thought is, oh, okay, maybe it's an expanded B, but then it finishes, I think, a bit more clearly with the WXY. So it creates a little more problem here because then this gets more difficult. So if this is 1, 2, well, you can't, you've got to add another degree. There's no way to resolve this. So 1, 2, okay, that plays, but then this is not likely to be the 3, so you get to a 3 up here, and I think that was actually fairly decent. This may have been 1, 2, 7. Nope, pardon me, it was longer than that. So if that's 1, 2, pardon me, it was the 2, 2, 7. So 1, 2, then this is a little bit of a squish in here, but you can see the finish, right? You can get the 1, 2, 3, 4, not much of a finish. Right now we are on a 2 hour. Take that down to a 5 minute. There's a little diagonal in there. So this is a decent finish here for the 1, 2, 3. Good distance. Kind of the same thing. A, B, C. So, I mean, you could probably. Oh, so you'd have to do this as A, B, C here. A, B. You got some spiky wicks. I mean, these kind of things are problematic for an Elliott count. So as you've seen me do before, often when that's the case, I'll just go to a line chart and see if does that help. Often it will clear up the Elliott count a little bit for you, so you can kind of see the start here and then working towards that finish. Come back here. So these things are problematic. So I will look to avoid them if I can, because really it's just, it's either somebody getting liquidated or some market order. It's problematic to deal with, right? So you look there and you go, okay, well, what do I do with that? Well, it turns out, right, it's not terribly problematic here in the count, because you can see the little 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that's in there. So this just becomes part of the correction. But you have to finish it 3, 4 with the 5 up here. So it's not a gorgeous finish, but it's there. So this, I think, is a pretty reasonable count. So the question, this was Attila Bungai yesterday was asking for this. Is the correction over? Well, certainly you have a candidate here for this to be. So if we pull this all the way back out, it certainly has the right look. Yep, sorry. But you can get the gist of this. So it does seem to have the right look. So coming down, so what is the correction over? Well, the first thing is if I'm approaching this, I want to pay attention to what happens here. Right, because as you know, I try to remind you guys, this is all the market ever does, right? We swing, we retrace, right? We're either going to break this side or that side. I'd be looking pretty closely to see just how does the algo respond here. Remember, algo does not care about an Elliott count. So if I get right on that pivot, for this to have an additional leg, I'd be treating that as though it were just as we were working from a low. Okay, we're going to come down here and then take out that high, right? That might give you indication that perhaps. Well, if it's doing that, you're going to be revisiting back over here, say, okay, do I have it right? Or do I, am I getting an extension in the 1? Or you're going to be back here checking all of this to accommodate that rather than just go, 3, 4, it must be an extension in the 5th. Right? I would, because certainly sitting right here, you've got all the ingredients. And I think we looked at this yesterday. If I take the length of that 1 and send it from the proposed 4, we're pretty hot here, assuming this is correctly labeled. Length of the 1 from the proposed 4, 2, 6, 1, 8, and a 5. That's a pretty good rip. That's a pretty good push on that. So let's see. The other thing I would do here, pardon me, I can't do it because it's log scale. I would want this channel on here. I'd want to see how it responds because it's pretty good looking channel there. So if I break this, then what are we looking for, right? You'd want to see something like this and then maybe a check back, right? Let's test it, right? More buyers coming in, but you can see it right there. If we do this, well, and here, let's just see how we look relative, right? Yeah, pretty good free draw. All right, so if we're doing that, right, I got to pay attention right here. So the break down here, what happens here? You can see also all the structure. So you can just look at this. I don't know if guy who asked for this yesterday, Attila Bagaji. Hope he'll catch that, because this is the way I would approach that. Is it over, right? So are we doing this, right? Are we going to do a 3? Because if it's over, now we're looking for something deeper, right? It's just standard ops, right? Every elitician knows this. Right, where are we looking for that 2? Right, we'd want this a little bit lower. Oh, and then it's the same kind of thing, right? Look always, right? Look left. What do I have to work with here? Do I have a little structure here? I do, right? So potentially this becomes an area of interest. Your 3, 4 down here. All of this would be, I would just kind of do it that way. Say, fatten that up, right? So I've got a technical pivot, then I've got a structural pivot. If we come down into this range, now, as usual, I would not sit here. That's not enough structure at that 50. If I were going to enter with a limit order, I'd do it down here. I want to see the reaction. Show me the reaction, because what I'm concerned about. Okay, so if we sit right there, I mean, you can just look at it and say, well, it's possible we do this. We finish with a 5. Right? At every pivot like that, if you're assuming the ABC is done, see, this is a good example of, okay, given the context, would that make sense, right? That we would, we're going to go down and do a 5 here. Well, if that's the case, then what did we do? We just did an A wave, which now, so we're going to put an A wave at the golden zone. I mean, of course, right, possible, but then this is what you're implying. Are we going all the way back to the lows? Well, maybe, right? Maybe, right? I mean, we've come from a long distance here, but if we're just kind of looking at this final kick, which is what was so hard here, the big question is here. I should take that up a degree so it stands out. Is this the 5 of the 5? And that may be what he's asking me here. All right, if we put that all back into context, let me change that color so we're not out of whack there. Okay, now you look at this whole thing. Oh, let's go. Maybe I got to do an 8. Okay, now, what degree are we correcting? So let's get this off of here. Let's put this all back together. Right. So now, if it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So then we did this a little bit again, but this last push was just brutal. Right. That's tough Elliott work in there. So something like that. Now we're going to come up a little shy. Or is there another leg here? I'd be careful about assuming it's just more and more and more and more and more to go. I think we had that little cluster up here as well, working off the 2 to the 3. Now, it's tempting to look at that and think, oh, shit, but that's quite a front run. I mean, that's more distance than you think, right? That's too far for a front run. So likely not a front run on that. But I think that's the 38. All right, so a little wick through the 38, and then we're up here. So it has a nice feel to it. And you've got a clean impulse that's finishing here. So where's the correction? If we're going to correct the whole thing, well, that's a pretty good fall. So now you'd be looking for a much more substantial correction to try and come down in here and test some of that. I don't see an alternate in terms of what's going to allow for more here, other than if we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this is, oh shit, I suppose that could be 1, 2. Right now we're going to have a massive extension. Oh, I don't think there's any way to turn this into anything other than the way it's labeled right now. So you're counting on, see, you got to be a little careful about that. So this would, to be counting on this to go up for another 5, does Phantom have that kind of muscle to do that? I'd be suspect of that myself. Could it do it? Now, there might be another kick here. So this might be reasonable, right? We'll come down here and there's another leg in this, so we get a bigger 5, and we're up to some of those upper targets. But to assume we're just going to keep going, again, you're playing the abnormal, right? I'd be cautious of that myself. For anyone who wants to take a swing at just firing up, testing yourself, it's not whether you match mine. It's whether you can actually get a count there that works. Right. So if I would encourage you guys, bring up a 2-hour on Phantom and try and finish it from this level here. Pardon me. It's from this level back here. It's from this level, from the low on July 21st. Try and finish that. Very, very challenging, right? You're going to run into roadblocks the whole way. Like, oh, shit, can't be that. Oh, can't be that. Can't be that. Very challenging. You might, and then you could come back here and just pause the video and just do a screenshot or something, or just pause the video and say, okay, do I match that, or do I see something different? Excellent test. I thought about putting this in the chart challenge yesterday, but I posted it up for the members. At least, and again, I'm not saying mine is right, but I do think this is a count that holds to rules and guidelines. I don't think there's anything that because I spent some time on this. It's a tough start. It would be an excellent test. Test yourself. Can I finish it from this July 21 or July 20 low? Can I get that to finish? Really tricky. All right, so members, I posted this under, so if you want to refer back to this, I'd encourage members to do the same thing, right? So just, you've had a glimpse at it, so you know it can be done, but you won't remember. If you come all the way back down here and you start from scratch, you're not going to remember my count. So if you can get it, and then check back, see if yours was close or if you got something wildly different. All right, looking. So Paul's asking, how's the RSI looking on this? I think that's what I'm assuming, Paul Vasco, you're asking about the RSI? You're kind of mid-range here. I mean, 50 is such a critical level with an RSI. You're not getting a lot of hits, so you're kind of flat. So this market just feels like it's resting. Well, clearly, right? So what happens here? Be interesting to watch this one, right? But that's a good one to test yourself on. Okay, so I think we've got at least a solution here. It's the kind of thing I don't know whether to try and work through that. I mean, again, that took me 20 minutes. My assumption is if I take 20 minutes on something, live streamer's not off. So hopefully we won't run into too many of those today. All right, but that was an on the fly. That was a tipped request, so there was nothing. I wasn't working from a members chart. Not that I mind, right? It's a good challenge. Okay, so let me keep moving. So essentially picking up, right? I wanted to clean that up. Now I've got Wonka, who is on here. I think he's on here as Tezzy Jap. Okay, so Wonka, I'm looking at your. Let's get your link in here. Oh shit, am I going to lose that? Let's see. Let me do it this way because I want to save that for any members that might want to check that. Okay, so I got it twice here. So I guess I can do it here. All right. So let's put that. All right, Wonka, what are we looking at? Oh, that's going to be your original. So let me copy this. Oh, I got graphics. I got animation here. I got signs. I got giant fonts. Wonka, give me a little. That's a nice touch. Boo is right. Okay, so I'm going to just move that over there. Although, God, I may save that to use somewhere. That's pretty good, actually. All right, so I'm going to hide that. All right, not sure what count I'm starting from here. Yeah, well, good point, right? So what do you do with that? All you can do is, what I'll do is just pop it into log so I get a little separation and say, okay, where are we starting from? Oh, let's just I'll do something like this. Just say, okay, is that my lowest low? Or where am I starting from? Well, clearly not. So, all right. So here's the COVID low. So what do you think we want to do? Let's see here. Well, let's just check this here. Because this is the obvious, right? Are we long enough? We are. So this would be so we got to trade it as a diag. This is kind of interesting here. Well, this kind of shit. So here's your lowest low. All right, let's just get that identified. 1, 2, 3, 4. It seems, there are times when this is just annoying, right? It's just annoying. Shit. All right, so you have to work with it as a diagonal, which is frustrating. I'd rather not. It would be a nice clean impulse, right? So just right off the bat, you got to start thinking in threes. Okay, can I make this work in threes? I would not even include that. It's just too much vol. So that 1, 2. Well, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you'd have to do that same way. Looks like 1, 2, 3 A, some sort of triangle B into a C. So we're kind of stuck with this diagonal. 1, 2, 3, A, B. Okay, so that's a clean finish. Okay, so let's get that up here. All right, so this is too small and the other one's too big. So we can go, let's keep this sub. Let's put this in, that'll work. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, triangle B, because I can't really see much else in there. Well, you see the nice finish here. This is hard to miss, right? 2, 3, looks more like a triangle 5. Sub. Oops. That's not what I wanted. I want you. Sub. Let's go white. Okay, so A, B, close enough for me. First, so I've got a nice ABC into the 4. Now, right, just a reminder, right? This is a little tell, right? It can be helpful. I'm looking for the 50, right? So ideally in a diag, I want the 4 at the 50, right? So if it's in between the 38 and the 4, and where you can see the structure, you can see what it's reacting to, right? Always look left, right? If there's something there, work with it, right? So clearly, resistance, 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 resistance. Oh, let's test it from above. Support. All right, now let's dig in there. So we've got a base count here. Just out of curiosity, how do we do here? Oh, fuck. I swear to you, I do not do that. I did not set that up. I had no idea. But look at that. Right into the golden zone. I know people must think I set that up, right? It feels like, oh, well, he must have set that up. Come on, it can't be just spontaneous. I promise you. I never even look at these before I come here because I don't want to, because I don't want to. I want my fresh mental thoughts, right? Fresh reaction, as opposed to, well, let's work this out ahead of time so I don't get stuck on something. And I'd rather give you the thought process, and that's based on the feedback that I get both from members and subs, because that's what you guys have to go through, right? If I just come here and do it all, and it's all already done, and say, well, here's the count, I don't think there's as much educational value in that. So while at times, right, I get stuck, like everyone gets stuck, I think the learning is more significant if we do it that way. Okay, so what's the point of this, right? Here's this would be dominant to dominant in this swing. As I remind you guys, this is all the market ever does. Right? Just swing and retrace, right? At some degree, that's all it ever does. Okay, so we've got a perfect, let's see here. I pull that out. I gotta pull some of these guys out here. That is your trade. That's your trade. Did you clear the background? Is that what that is? Oh, you've locked that. So let me unlock that. Oh, here, let me hide that. I think that's your trade. So we're not quite to the, so you can see the okay. All right, so what else do we have here? Right there. Let's get this right on it. This it's worth doing this. It's kind of a pain in the ass, but if you just hold the control key, it'll use the magnet and get right on it. But you want to do that. You want to take the time to get them spot on. So I know if I miss by a hair, it's not because I didn't have it tight. So 1, 2, 3, 4, perfect algo play. So it's interesting. So this will be interesting to watch here, because we've seen them tick the target here and fail, but that would potentially set you up for, this is an interesting conflict. But between the algo getting its target here and the tendency for the market to achieve that 80% and get to that median line. Okay, so let's break that down and see what that looks like, because the downside here is if we tag that and fail, right? Trading principle number 4, right? Swing equal to or greater than the move that missed it. That would surprise me, but looks like you've got all the ingredients here for this to be close to a finish, right? So this is going to be really interesting to watch. Okay, let me go down to a 4-hour and see how we finish here. Okay, so let me take let's see. So I can get Wonka in here. All right, I think you're on the right track here. So if this is the 4, 1, 2. Well, let's look at that. Okay, not sure what's before, so I'm starting count before. Okay, so well, okay, this looks pretty reasonable. I think that's got to go up a degree, not down a degree. So that's 1, 2, because that would be the next degree. So we're going to do it down here. Oh, it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pretty reasonable. Into that 1. Oh, shit, could be here, right? A, B, C. Or it's not a grade 2, right? So this is the consistency with crypto, right? Shaky 2s. 4, I guess we finished the 5 there. Don't really have much. Oh, shit, I guess you could do it here. A, B, C. I might do it that way. A, B, C. 1. Okay, this looks much like Phantom. What do you do with that, right? So W, X. No, A, B. All right, so A, so there's a 5, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So this could work with Wonka. Nice. So 1, 2, oh, yep, I'm with you. 1, A, expand the B. Oh, you got to, let's see. Oof. Yeah, you can get it, right? So let's zoom in there. Yep, there's 5 in there. So we can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you see what he's doing, recognizing, right? We've got to factor this in somehow. All right, so this seems, oh, it's not great, gorgeous, but basic outline is there. Right? Don't expect it to be perfect at every degree as you break it down. They are going to disintegrate eventually. But the basic structure is there. So what's important here? Why go through all that? Because that's the one I got to pay attention to. Right, so again, it's just a good force of habit, right? I encourage anyone who's an Elliott trader should. I mean, if you're not using like something like Motive Wave, which it'll do it, just right-click mouse, it'll highlight the 1, 2, or the 3, 4, which is kind of a nice feature of it. Always wick off your 1s, so just keep track of where. Okay, so example, I got to do it again right here, right there. There's another 1 that finishes right there, and if it's worth doing it, right? If you're really working on detailed counts, put the bar and match the colors. All right, so 1, 2. Let's see how this finishes. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2. Okay, so what we're trying to finish is this one here, 3, 4. I'm going to change that color just for that reason. Do you see how you can lose? Okay, which one am I trying to finish here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so what did I finish? Did I finish this one? 3, 4, 5. All right, so I've got 1 unaccounted for. So this is the one that we're still working on. 1, 2, 3. Is that the 4? Be mind he's skinny, right? So he's drawing the. Oh, it looks like you're drawing it from here. Okay, well let's leave that right there. Okay, so the 1, 2, mighty skinny. But if it's not too far off, right? So the 4 relative to the 2, it's not necessarily that you're looking for parity here. That might get your attention, but that's not much of a 1, 2 at that degree. But I think he's right here. I don't see an alternate. So you can't call that 3. So you're stuck with the 1, 2 there. And again, you can't. That could only be the 1, 2 of the 3. So it's just a tricky one. All right, very good. So just out of curiosity, I'll do just to kind of confirm the count as I'm looking at it. How do we look on the 3? Okay, so I mean, pretty big rip in the 3rd, just shy of the 2618. So that's certainly good wave 3 territory. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I would do the same thing here. It looks like it would be as far, if not farther. Again, just shy of the 2618. All right, so good solid work on identifying those 3s. So it's not much of a 3 leg. I am on a 4 hour, but you can kind of see it in there. Looks like it's A, B, C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's good work. Yep. A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Got that. All very good. It's well done, Wonka. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So what are we finishing here? So look. So what are you pulling here? You're pulling from. Okay, I see what you're doing. So you're pulling. Well, if we finished here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, wait a second. Let's dig in there. All right. Did we finish? Let's push that off just for a second. Here we are on the fly again. Well, that looks 4-ish, doesn't it? But you can't make that. It looks like it works. You're going to have to dig that as the 1, 2. 3, 4, 5. I got to check that. Do we overlap? I don't think we did. Did we? I don't think so. All right. Another good reason to do this. Let's make that green. Okay, so we're in the clear. So 1, 2, A, B, C on the 4, although that's deep for the 4. So I'm going to pull that off just for a sec. Oh, I don't like that start. What am I, 4? Let's go to a 1 hour. See if that start gets any better. Boy, 1, 2. I kind of hate that. Well, this looks like you could go 3, 4 here. God, you might be stuck with that. Well, so this is a little bit of a fucker right there. Okay, so you got, well, it looks like it clears it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's take that up a degree. Let's put this one yellow. Okay, so I've got one here, so I got to do 1, 2. Well, that's a bit of a squish. But it works. Okay, so let's go up. All right. Oh, here we'll use blue. Looks like you can get that done. So now this, all right, do you see what I'm doing here? Now, since I'm adding a degree, I'm going to go up a degree here just so it stays consistent. 1, 2, 3, A, B, C is clear. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so it's good. A, B, C into the 2. Okay, that works. We don't overlap here again. Shit that doesn't happen randomly. Oh, fuck. You're kind of stuck with this. Looks like you have to do the same thing here. That's all you got to work with. That's too high a degree. All right, so we get the 5. So looks like you got to go A, B, C, W, X, Y. All right, so there's a clear. This looks, well, again, just work backwards. Okay, what can I see, right? And again, you might change it, but it's like a sketch. Okay, so let me sketch it out, and then you got to check it and test it and see, okay, does that work, right? Am I within guidelines here? That's, so just right off the bat, I do think you'd have to do that, as I said, W, X, Y, which would be up a degree. To the 4. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So maybe a leading diag there. Let's zoom in there. I don't think you can get an impulse in here, so actually you might be able to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's try that. Let's just sketch that out and see if it works. Now, so right off the bat, you notice that it looks like 3 would not be the longest, but when in doubt, measure. Okay, so 3 shorter than 1, but it looks like, and don't assume, just check it. Right. Okay, so we've got a diag here. It's a slight overlap. Oh fuck! I suppose you'd count this. You could go 1, 2, A, B, C. No, I think you're better here to trade it as a diag. So we get a leading diag, A, B, C into the 2. Looks like that's going to be pretty close. Looks like might be too far, but we're closer to the 7, 8. Okay, right. So pretty clean 1, 2. Right, it's well within typical guidelines here. We'd be looking for something a little bit beyond that. So let's go micro. Let's go back to green here. So we've got a 1, 2. Steep, but I would still look at this. Right, that's kind of steep, so you don't have a lot of time. So that 80 is already realized. And if I get that tightened up here, I mean, Jesus, like it literally tickles the edge of it. Right, the 2 wicks get it. So that's not going to be your 3. So is this 1, 2, 3, 4? Right, we're starting. Well, right, even if we get here, not likely to be the 3. So it looks like we could be. Oh, right. This is you're at that location where you don't know, right? It could easily we come down here and we have a deeper correction, then you'd be revisiting that 4. Is that the 4? But right now, you don't need to assume that. You just need to be mindful of it. Okay, if this rolls over, then I got to revisit where this 4 is. But right now, WXY 1, 2 is reasonable, right? It's not unusual. So this would be up here. I guess this would be up here as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so let's look at all that, see how that plays. So what are we trying to connect right now? I'm trying to get this 3 and that 4. And that 1 is going to be way down here. All right, so just if you really get lost, just put the wave on it. All right, so there it is. So let's see. Okay, so let's go to a 2. Let's see how that looks. Right, we get. I do this. You know, you'll hear me talk about. Oh, do I have the right look here? I mean, it's worth doing it for yourself. So it would be 1, 2, 3, working on this is the 4. So we have another small 4, just like we had the small 2, which is why I point you to the idea. It's possible that we go deeper here, right? Look how much room we have. We wouldn't even be threatening that, right? You could see that actually might have more look. So don't just assume that oh shit, okay, we retrace and it's off to the moon here. You can see how this could easily. All right, so we can, let's see, how would we do this? Well, you might do a WXYXZ. So you might do a triple. If you get a 3 instead of 5, so this would be fairly easy. All right, so how would you approach this as a trader? Well, let's just map it out. If we're going up for a 3 up here, if right, if we're going to go 3, 4, if the 4 is in, you know, the other thing that I would do just to look for confluence here, which again, there's a nice little feature in Motive Wave that does this for you. I would want to check these two. So I want this is so small, right, that I want to check it from here. Now, all I'm looking for is did I get 100? Let's pull that over right there. Okay, so 100. See what I'm doing? I'm measuring the depth of the 2 relative to the 4. It looks like that's a 1 tick front on parity. So it's just one more, just a little element of confluence, right? So give me a little more conviction into the idea, because I can certainly see how this could roll over and we'd get a deeper 4 here and we'd still stay, shit, we're probably not even to the 23 yet. So right here, that gives me a little more confidence in that I've got that confluence there. So if I can go 1, 2, it either going to keep rolling here or if we roll over. So this would be a low risk long, which I think is what Wonka had on here. And shit, let's see if I can find it. So I had his entry, which I hid. There it is. Okay, so let's, oh shit. Is that your main one? Oh shit! Where did you get long from? Oh, okay. So you, so I'm thinking you're already long. So you're long down here. Can't tell, Wonka. Are you up there? Wonka, are you long from down here? And you got a target, or you're looking for it to buy it on a deeper retrace? Tell me in the chat. If you're here, I think you are. I'd be up here going, okay, if it's coming back down, if this is going to play as it looks like that's 4-ish, right? There might be one more little kick up here. So this looks like that could get up here. Now, okay, so now we're getting our corner. Yes, okay, all right, thanks. All right, so if we're looking right now, so all we're trying to do is get into 1, 2, 3, 4. You'd be trying to get into the 5 of the 1. So what we're ultimately after here is trying to get into this. So we're this to go 1, 2. So I would actually, I'd want to see that complete, since it's vulnerable to roll over here until we take out that pivot with some momentum. I'd want to see that complete. Give me the 5 here. Now, if I get a 5, it could still be an A, B, C into an X. But if I get this little 3 coming down here, now I'm a lot more confident in that going after that 3. That's what I would do. So let's see. Oh, let's go to that 30-minute. these are not the greatest of starts. Let's get that tightened up. 1, 2. Fuck. Nope. This actually, let's see. Yeah, I want to go 1, 2, so I might move that over. Even though it's not the lower low, it looks like we start the count here. I can't start it here, so I got to go 1, 2, 3, very 4-like, 5. So I can get up here into this, somewhere in this range here. I know. So what's immediately, you know, your first thought is, oh fuck, man, if it moons off of this, I'm going to miss that. Well, welcome to the reality of trading. You're looking for within that context. At least I would have more conviction that I've gone 1, 2, 1. Now I'm waiting right here. So here's your long. If I can get in down here, oh shit, let's get all of this off of that. And I would do the exact same thing here. If I get that. No. Man, my free drawing is getting pretty tight. So right into the golden zone. So if I can get here, it doesn't look like it's done. So the 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then you're more likely closer to having the whole thing done, right? Assuming it's going to stay with good Elliott ball, which we never know for sure, right? But all of the conditions are there. Deep 2, right? It's a bit, you know, getting. Oh, boy, you got some giant numbers. It's also good. Just look at it and say, okay, what are we doing here? It just kind of looks like it's. Right, you see, you'd have to be vulnerable to the idea. What do you got below? You got some volume on here? No, we just came out of a squeeze down here. This is the RSI. Here's an Elliott oscillator. Okay, so it looks like we're right. You don't have what would appear like an obvious 3 like this, right? Where you know it's the 3 just by looking at the Elliott oscillator. We don't quite have that here. So the idea that 1, 2, 1 is completing seems to make sense. I want to see the volume as well. Oops, I do that all the time. So that's what I see, Woo Wonka. Good one, right? And a challenging count. Your work is spot on. 1, 2, 1. Yeah, that's the one I would wait for, right? And recognizing it might just rip up for that third. You're going to miss it. I'd always rather miss one than take a trade that I was iffy. I wasn't confident in. It's a little bit. So immediately you're already into hopium. All right. Well, I hope it goes. Rather than, boom, boy, I set that up. It came just to where I was looking for it. If I get stopped out, I get stopped out. That's trading. But rather than, well, it might. Let's, kind of maybe it goes. Let's see, right? I just think that if you do that over time, more losses than winners. And psychologically, you're fucking with yourself a little bit, because if you get away with it, then you're more likely to do it the next time. And then you're kind of abandoning the discipline of waiting for your trade to set up. And you're just kind of going, well, fuck, I don't know, it's close enough. Let's go. We're in consolidation. Well, this whole thing, and you can also kind of see a Wyckoff pattern in there. So this potentially, right, you've got distribution here. We haven't really had an up thrust here, but if you had one more little failed breakup here, you could kind of see how this might, up thrust, and then, we start coming down. Not that I wouldn't trade it. Doesn't look like that 4 is done either. 1, 2, 3. Looks like we could be, well, maybe it could be done. So that could be heading up for that 5. Let that complete and then wait for a 3. Then I'd take it all day long. That's a good one, Woo Wonka. Very well done. All right, let me keep going. Hang on a second. Oh, cool. Okay. Whoop, I just lost my spot here. Who's up next? Oh, Hibby Boy. Okay. All right. So hopefully that helped a little bit there, guys. All right. I don't know. I'm just riding it. Thanks, Sam. Okay, you bet, man. Okay, so I've got Hibby Boy with bat. Let's see what I got here. Hibby Boy. One of our most improved. I mean, he was good when he got here, but now he's gotten very good. Okay, hang on. Let me copy this over. I wish you guys could see what I see, which is what they were posting when they first joined us to what they post now. Wow. Okay, so wildly different in log versus arithmetic. All right, so you're sending it to me in arithmetic. Well, okay, so let's ponder the range here. Yeah, I see your point. well, I mean, it's a massive range. So certainly it's worth a look in both, right? So I would, when it's that far, I mean, look how far we are. We're from below, from 0.06 to a $1.60. That's pretty massive, right? So I would stay in log here. Oh yeah, I see what you mean. That's a so you have to go, well, yeah, I'm with you. All right. Well, I'm assuming that you've already done this. You just didn't include it here. But I know you're good enough that you would have looked to be sure there was an impulse there, which clearly we have. Oh, a bit of a gnarly start to that 3. But what? So the clear. This is a good example, right? So you just look. Okay, what do I have to work with here? Well, here's the correction. Here's the correction. Here's a micro correction, but it looks like you needed that as part of the finish here, so you could get the 1-2. Yeah, you're stuck with that, right? So it actually looks like. Do we get a flat there? Oh, maybe ABC. It's going to be borderline, but I'd go with it. All right, so I certainly would stay with the 1-2 there. I like the channeling, although it's a little. Well, that would work. I would do both, right? So do you see? Well, here let's consider this. What's the alternate? Oh, we overlapped. Fuck. Right. So I see what you're doing. Okay. So 1-2. We can't go this way, right? We can't go 3 and be thinking 4-5 up here because of the overlap. And since we've got an impulse here, you're kind of, well, fuck, I suppose we could do ABC, but that seems less likely. So here's a clear impulse that completes 1, 2, 3. This looks like the 4, 5. That looks good. ABC. What are we doing there? This I would keep self-contained. Well, let's dig in there a little bit. This is a tricky one. Well, it looks like you could trade that either way, right? So you could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you could get 5 here. 1, 2. Unfortunately, that looks like 5 as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's look at an ending diag. Okay, so I'd put a little dot here. So potentially you might have a truncation there. Just think about that. Boy, truncation is always last resort. If you cannot solve it any other way, that's the only thing left, then you go to a truncation. God, that... No, I'd avoid that, although I think this degree is too big. Let's come down. Sub-micro. Okay, so if we completed... Well, so the reason I do that is because we don't have identified what we completed up here, right? So... Hibby boy. So you see what I mean there? So okay, if we complete an impulse here, what did we complete? Right? Is that relative to what's here? Oh, you're not giving me the. All right. So what are we thinking? Well, here's just our all-time low. So, boy, that's a bitch, right? You really want to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Can't do it. Right, and even though that's frustrating, and someone else, if you're not an Elliott trader, and that's far enough, right? And there's certain, I mean, a tick or two maybe, but that's too far. That's farther than you think, right? You can't allow that, right? You got to hold that discipline because it's going to affect what comes next, and even though that's annoying, you'll find that over time, if you are squishy on that rule, on the rules, and like, fuck guideline, right? It'll come back to bite you. So we're kind of stuck here going 1, 2, fuck. Boy, that 5 to that 1 is, okay, let's just think for a second. Could we do this as a diag? Look at the 1 relative to the 5. That's what is giving me pause here. God damn it, I want to make that the 4. I'm not sure. Fuck, I guess we can't. We'd have to go. We'd have to do it as an ABC. So you'd be stuck with going ABC. Well, let's just play with that for a second. So that would push this over here. I'm going to change that color. Oh fuck, where's the thing here? Come here. Let's go up. why am I not getting my, oh, here it is. All right, let's see if we do it that way. So it's not a whole lot better in terms of solving the imbalance here in terms of size of the swings, but this little fucker. All right, so I prefer to think that this is whatever we did here is all self-contained and this is the correction of it, rather than to try and finish it there. I know this is, well, here's one where you don't, but it's just the market's not going to give you a perfect Elliott all the time, right? You just have to deal with it. So if this is 1, 2, I much prefer that as a 3, 8. So, oh, I don't want to include that. Can we get a WXY in there? So, well, if this is the W, that's not much of an X. Hard to squeeze a 3 in there. Oh, let's see. Can we get a triangle? It's kind of falling off. All right, so let's. So we'd have. So you'd have to do it as 1, 2. Oh fuck. Let's see. 1, 2. That has to be 3. Ooh, I don't like it. Well, shit, I'm on a daily. Let's look here. Let's go to the 4 here. Okay, so I can get a better ABC here. This is the bit I don't like. Well, okay, so let's work backwards. Okay, so from this, okay, so I can see that's my finish. So this has to be the it's either the B or the 4. Yeah, I don't think he can do it. So if we start from here, if that's 1, 2, 3, 4, can we make that work? Yeah, it's kind of gnarly as well. All right, well, let's stay with that. Hang on a sec. Sorry, back. Okay. If that's WXAB, could we truncate here? All right, I'm gonna hold this here and see if it fits with the rest of it. Okay, so if that's, let's take this up. This is a problem spot here. I don't like this finish. I want to go WXY, but I don't like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We might be stuck with that. Okay, so 1, 2. Well, that could be 3. This is on the wrong degree here. Where's my fucking thing? Okay, so there's that. Okay, 1, 2. I see what you're doing here. This is a tough one, hippie boy. I see why you're looking for some guideline here. Let's see. Can't be yellow 4, but big disparity between green 2 so far. So green 2, 4. Okay, so where's the 4 here? Yeah, here it is. Okay, so we're moving this down here. All right, this is, so again, not that that was previously labeled incorrectly. I'm just kind of giving you an alternate on the fly here. Just because this just seems like this is correcting. Well, let me draw it this way. This is correcting that, right? That swing, that impulse is being corrected here, right? So here's the, well, again, as I will tell you, it's all the market ever does, right? So it's what it's doing, right? So 1, 2. Well, I get what you're doing. So 1, 2, right? It's not likely to be the 3, 4. So we'd be coming up short here as a truncation. So unless we're going to truncate here, and you're going to go W, X, Y, and then this is 1, 2, which is worth considering here. I won't fuck with it here because I don't want to take any more time on this. But 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, I'm with you. So the 1, 2. Nice, right? So it looks like he bought it here, but missed by a ball hair. Okay, so looks like was looking for the spot buy here, which is working off of the structure here. So 1 2 1 2 3 4 looks like that. Looks like you're all right there. Oh, now I can see it. I got it now. I couldn't see it before. All right, now I see where we are. Okay, so let's brighten that up a little bit. Okay, so 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 looks like we got that finished. Oof. All right, leverage buy missed. Okay, so 1 2, that looks good. 1 2 3 4. Are we done there? 1 2 3 4 5. We are. So that looks like a good 1 2 coming out of the golden zone. So what are we doing there, right? Does that look like a 4? It doesn't really. Well, we got to live with it. Okay, so this being the 2. Jeez, you got so much on here. Sometimes I got to just hide stuff. Okay, so if that's the 4 relative to that 2, so okay, so let me just do it this way. Some of you got the colors are different. It's harder for me to see. Okay, so that'll work. So it doesn't look like it's done. Well, I suppose we could actually. Looks like there's a diag there. So let's open that up a little bit. A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and maybe it looks like it might work. Okay, so this would have to be. Oh no, we don't have enough yet. Yeah, that's too bad, right? You see this is the lower low. All right, so that's vulnerable. So so you got to consider that as a candidate for a rollover. All right. Okay, so let's label it. 1, 2, 3. That's not much of a 5, is it? All right, let's leave it there for the time being, which is what I would do. I would just leave it, say, okay, for the time being here, and then I will typically, I'll do something like this and say, okay, this is my problem spot. I don't love it here, just so I know where to come back to if I've got a problem with it. So this you'd be thinking, okay, candidate, okay, maybe I've got an ABC here going. So this would be A, not much of a B. The alternate would be, let's see if it's long enough. Can we get it? A diag in there. It's going to be close. Right, 3, if it's going to be a leading diag, 3 has to be longer than 1. So we have it. So it could be it could be 1, 2, 3, although not much of a 3 in there. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you get one more kick up here, okay. All right, so you'd have to pay attention to it, make sure that 5 is longer than 3. Then you could come back here and say, all right, well, maybe I've got this wrong, right? So this is because that's not much of a finish, right? So you can look at that and say, this is the lower low. So you can't go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you're stuck with this. Oh, but you might have to do something in here to get that to finish. I don't know. You may just be stuck with that. Right, that's not much of a finish, which is why I would be reluctant, right? So that 5 is so weak. Jesus, even a 15-minute. Well, so this is the higher high, so you have to use this. So how are you getting? Fuck. Let's see. Jesus, sometimes I can't leave something unresolved. It just annoys me. Okay, so doesn't look like I can go. Well, maybe let's see. All right, so there's your low. Can we get that? We might. Let's see. So let's label it here. So if we can get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, is 3 the shortest? Let's hope not. Okay, come here. Come here. All right, so let's 1. Yep, so we can do that. Okay, so we can get this here. So let me take that up a degree. Let's go micro. I've not gotten the wrong color. That's what I want. Okay. All right, so we got that done. Okay, so we can finish here. So sometimes it's worth going down to the 5-minute to say, can I really finish that fucker? Because we were out here on the daily looking at that going, it's just a little squirt. There's nothing there. So it can be worth doing that to see, okay, can I really actually finish that 5 there? All right, well, now do I get a 5 here? Because you can certainly see how that could roll over. And we get A, shallow B, or WX, All right, now what do we get here? So if we're well, why does that matter? Well, of course, if it's an ABC, we're looking for 5. If it's a WXY, we're looking for 3. That's why it matters, right? That's why you go down to a 5-minute to see, can I really finish there? Because if that's a 5 and I've got an A here, there's no reason to anticipate this is over. You're anticipating there's one more leg down because I need that to finish. No, market doesn't care, right? Market can do whatever it's going to do. But if again, it's all we get, right? Is tendency, probability. What does it likely do based on what's done here? Would that fit in the context? That's all we get. So if it's for this to come down here, now see already you're going, shit, man, I want my 4 at a golden zone. Not really what you want. It's deep. So when does that come into play? I mean, well, this would be just as close. This is. If let's say we go golden zone here, fuck, wrong one. If this is the 1 and we golden zone and we 4 at the golden zone, well, you see how far this would need to go from the 4? So we're going to have to go 227 to get up to that algo target, which is a lot for a deep 4 for that to finish there. So I'd be a little suspicious of this. Truthfully, right now, as it sits here, this is not good enough for me to trade it. It's just me. Now, what's interesting here, so note if that's the 1, 2, no, pardon me, that's the wrong one. So if we go here, look how far that went. So if this is 1, 2, right here, just wicking the 2, 6, 1, 8, right? So it feels good to put the 3 there, right? That would make sense to go 1, 2, 3, right, based on that. But 4, now the 5 to come all the way up here and get that as a 1, 2. Well, let's just see how that would play. If that's the 1 and that's the 2, yeah, it could work. Oh, okay, man. Okay, man. Thanks for your help. Okay, so for this to go from here to here, we're looking for a very, very big push off that 4. I guess it's not bad, right? It's not terrible. You've got the structure there for it. We come down here, so it looks like it's already been tested. This meeting has been ended by the host. Okay, I guess that doesn't matter. I think that's just him signing off. All right, that's a tough one, Hibby. I can't say I love it enough to say, boy, I'm all over it. There's so many things to trade, right? You know, when they're, unless maybe Hibby boy, you're in here, right? And you're just looking. Is this a contender to keep going here? I don't know that I would be looking for something that big, but it's possible, right? So that would be the high probability zone. So you'd be looking for this. Oh shit, we'd be connecting here. This would be the 3 you're looking for. So that's up a degree. So that's all of that still to come. Again, why changing colors and keeping the degrees consistent will help you, so you won't wonder what the fuck is that connecting. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 looks like what you're after here. So you're going to need a very big 5 here for this count to hold. Well, take note of where that median line fits into all of it. All right, so let's pull all of that. All right, so you'd be going up for that upper parallel here. I'm going to just darken that a little bit so you can see it a little better. Okay. All right. So 1, 2. All right. We've already got our 80. Right. That's already burned. But I'd be paying attention just to the geometry for that to come up and hit that upper corner. Right. So you've got a clear target. That's asking a lot of the market to finish that 3 up here. But I mean, there's plenty of vol here. Good one. That's a tough one. I'm not sure I would chase that one. I might if we come up here and that finishes. Well, then this might, you know, look more, that would start to get appealing, right? Trade that forward into that 5, because you'd have resolution here. You'd know, okay, the count has held. The 1, 2, 1, 2 idea is solid. Looks like it's going to hold. So I complete the 3 up here in target, right? You know, we don't have it. Let's just see what it does. Then if we roll, then you know that the impulse is in play. So you'd be after the 3, 4 to complete the 3 relative to this 1. And let me change that color. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So you'd have this, the 4 to the 5. I'd suggest take at least a partial, looking for the retrace in the 4 to complete the whole thing way up here. Now I got to connect that one, which is, I think that's the highest degree. So this would be, all right, one more example of why you want to take these up to those higher degrees so you can see what you're connecting, right? So we're trying to finish, all of that was to finish this 4. Let's put these back here so I can get into this one. That's it, the whole thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now we're because this is a diag, because of that 1, 2. This could be so shit. You might have to do it A, B, and then we're looking to finish the C. So that just a reminder here. Because of this, we're looking for a diag here. So in the diag, so we can get a 5 here, right? So you're just looking for an A, B, C to finish the whole thing. So let's see. So to give you that better structure on that, let me clean that up a little bit. Oh, how would we want to do this? Right. So if we get a 5 here, you'd call A, B, C is what you'd be looking for. Let's take that up to match it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So technically you'd put that up. So it would be A, B, C, and we'd finish the 5. So that would complete the diag that you got forced into here because of that overlap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gives us the A, 3 in the B. Then you'd be looking for another 5 to finish it. Tough one, challenging one, but interesting. I mean, certainly all the potential is there. Still like it. A, B, C. Get that to all finish up here. Good one, hippie boy. Good one. That's on the radar, definitely. Note the volume spikes here. Right. So when they come in big. Okay, let me keep moving. Let's see. I got. Okay, looks like everything's clear. Nothing in the notes. Okay, all right, flying solo. Right, I got to pay attention to all these things here. Okay, so let's go. Frayed 57. Oh, I think Frayed 57 has been with us for a while now. He's becoming a regular poster in live streams, which I appreciate. So this is Adam to the dollar tether. All right, Frayed, what are we thinking? And copy that. Okay. All right. Looks like a challenge. All right. We're on an hour. So I have to have perspective. Right? So I got to pull out and say, okay, where is this coming in? Where are we in the larger degree? Okay, so we're going to give this all of this perspective. So we're still seeking. Wow, let's go even further. Let's go to a 12. Okay, so it looks like, Frayed, you gave this to me in arithmetic, not log. So I'm going to pop it into log just to take a look, see here. Okay, I like this. And just kind of force a habit. Ooh, that's kind of gnarly. Well, there's a clear, well, Frayed, let's consider an alternate here. So why do I say that, right? So if we look here, hard to see that as a 3. I mean, can you do it? Yeah. Well, let's just see if there's an alternate here. Well, you might be right. So that finish. So again, this is a good example here. You got to work backwards, right? So we end here and we start up. So if this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into the 1, God, you guys, these giant degrees you use here. Okay, so if that's the 2, okay, so right off the bat, I'm looking at this going, hard not to see a 5 there, right? It's hard not to see it. Even the finish looks like that's a 5. So to call this an A, or pardon me, a W, well, we gotta break that down a little bit further. So can we get a true 3 in there? Oh fuck! Here, hang on. Shit, now I gotta find it. Here's what I should do is put a vertical line there so I don't get lost. Okay, so that sure looks like a 5. All right, so let's think. Okay, I guess we could do it. The 1, 2. Well, you'd have to. I see your point. All right, I see it. You'd have to do it this way. Do we really have a clean finish there? Well, we might. All right, so again, let me do this so I don't fuck it up like I just did. I need the, let's add that so I've got that fucker. All right, so, oh shit, thought I just had it. I want vertical line. There we go, okay. So now if I go, oh, let's go to the 15. Now I can find it, hopefully. Please, where'd you go? Weren't you right here? Oh my gosh, come on. I guess I can't find it out at that degree. Well, I was trying to be fancy there, but I think I fucked this up. Here it is, okay. Well, so it'd have to be 4, 5, so working backwards. I guess we could do it. All right, so let's go with it here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bit of a squish on the finish of it, but let's go with it. So let me go back to so A, B, C into a W, A, B, C into an X, A, B, C. All right, good 5 here to finish it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So A, let's label them. All right, this is usually good, right? I can figure out what you did here, but this is for your benefit, right? So as you come back to this, usually a good idea to do these, just so you don't, right? If you have to change the count, you know what your thought was. A, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A, B, C for the X. Yeah. Well, you're kind of stuck with it. Almost. Well, you got to do it that way. A, B, C. All right, but let's go with that. All right, so this looks like a 7, 8. Oh no, shit, we got golden zone. Well, do you see what I'm pulling here? Now this is a bit of a, right? The algo doesn't care about an expanded B, so the algo is going to do that, right? So that. But for as an Elliott count, it works. So either way, that's a clear 3 for the 2. So why does it matter which pivot we use? That's why. All right, so we got the overlap here. So is that, I'd probably do it here rather than assume that this is a 1, 2. C into the 2. Okay, so I like the 1, 2. Okay, I like that. Well, just things that are habitual that I would encourage you to do. Measure them all. Measure it. Okay, long enough. I mean, here's your prime zone. Okay, so you see what he's doing there? You're kind of stuck here. So you've got to go 1, 2. Right, so the 3 there is so clear. Seems a push here. You'd be... Well, either way. So if you were trying to go 1, 2, 3, well, now you've overlapped, so you've got to trade it as a diag. So 1, 2, 1, 2, you don't get a great 3 there. Okay, let's just think for a second. So I'm just throwing out the alternate here is that there's 1 degree more than we need here. Okay, let me just consider this here. If this is going to fuck up this count, let's just take it for a second. Possibly we can do it this way. No, that's not going to work here. So if we went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we still need to finish over here based on what's come off of that. Then the internal, God, this is much like Phantom, right? You've got this sideways, and then we 2-step it. Well, okay, so right off the bat, let's get these degrees right. Let's go to sub. 1, 2, 3. So we'd be still seeking. 1, 2, yeah, let's just see here. 3, 4, 5, which would be this 3. So this 5 would come over here. Now, is that going to work here as a diag? I think you might have, is it a double bottom? I'm going to guess you checked it. Nope, it clears it, right? So you guys can see that. If I get right up on it. Yep, so it cleared it. Okay, so you can go, that can be the 4. Fuck, that's tight. Oof. I kind of want to go WX, right? So there's a 5 that finishes there. Kind of the same thing. Do you see the 5 coming down here? So if I went A, B, C, that would give me the 4 here. So just, again, not that one's right, one's wrong. I'm just looking for an alternate here. If this, I want to use that 5. So you'd have a flat. That's certainly with an expanded B. Let's just see. So that would be this would be the 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would work. I don't know that it creates. If we're making it worse here, we might be. Shit, I'm over here. Okay. Now, one of the big differences is that he gave it to me in arithmetic. So if this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this 5 is still being sought. This is the 3 here. So this is still up here. All right. Just thinking out loud here, Frey, to see if there's an alternate here, because this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I kind of want to finish that there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, maybe not. Maybe not, because now we'd have to go into a diag. If that's the 1, we want to finish here. So I think you're right. I think you're right, Fred. I don't think there's an alternate there. So he's finishing that. He's getting 3, 4, 5 here to finish this 1 because of the depth of the retrace. So if that's the 1, there it is again, shallow 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is what I want to do there, but I can't, because I can't trade it as, well, I guess I could fuck with it and turn it into a diag. A, B, C, 2, A, bush. A, B, C could be the 3, so you could still have the 3 up here. Oh, this is a bitch. Interesting one. Very, very, very interesting one. Okay, so let's just assume that you got it right here, and let's come back to what you had, which is essentially that we complete the 1 here. So the 3, 4, 5 comes here, so let's ignore my inner attempt to do it on the fly. 1, 2, 3, 4. Can't say I love that, but okay, let's go with it. So we'll put the 4 in there either way, right? So we can finish the 5. So the depth makes you think 2. 1, 2. So right off the bat here, let's just get these, make these a little more reasonable. Okay. 1 on top of the 786. That's a good one, right? Good to have a challenge. We don't want them to all be dropped that easy. Okay, that. Sure, I guess that works. Let's go up a degree here. 1, 2. All right, so right off the bat, your first question is, why not 3? So you got to look at it and think, okay, why would he be adding the extension there? Well, okay, so the first thing I would do, just to kind of dial it in. Okay, where's my high probability zone? That could be the well, I might want to. So I would have an alternate here. I'd be looking at that as an alternate, right? So 3, 4, can I finish there? Looks like I could. Potentially, I'd have finished here. So I'd be finishing the 3, right? Oh, whether I'd use either one of these here, A, B, C, for the 4. Whew, that's a toughie. 3, 4. So you'd have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to complete that there. Now you don't have a deep enough retracement. So it wouldn't be a good 2. So yet again, the shallow 2 strikes again. All right, let's stay with this count, see if it works. Okay. A, B, C, A, B, C, A, B, C. It's a push, A, B, C. But since you're finishing here, you'd have to dig it out there, and I'm on an 8-hour, probably get her done. Looks like a 5, but you have to go A, B, C. A, B, C. Okay, so first question, right, are we good here? Oof. That's a hair short. Which you may have given me that note. You gave me a note, something. 1, 2. Well, A, B, C. You'd have to do it here, actually. So do you see what so there, we're at least, am I spot on there? At least you'd get 100 there. Let's get that right on the pivot. All right, so now I make it, right? I can't come up shy here because then 3 would be the shortest, so you're going to have to push that off. So it actually cleans it up a little bit better. So you can see, well, here, let's do them all, all right? So you can see the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, shit. Come here. Come here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We get that. So that will work. And then you do it as an ABC. So A, B, C. Let's go up a degree. All right, so A, B, C into the 3. All right, so that cleans that up just a hair. Right, very close. Okay, so do we have a good diag? 1, 2, 3, 4. I remember, always helpful if I can catch the 4 at the 50. All right, nice. All right, it's just a slight front run here, so it looks like that's all legit. We got second target on the algo. Okay, so I've got a good 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I've got it now. Where 3 is longer than 1, 5 longer than 3, so I've got a good diag there. All right, so it sets it up. Yeah, I'm with you there. Let's see, that's a little sloppy. Oh, you're going to truncate there. Interesting. Well, remember, truncation is last resort. So let's take that off here and just consider it. Well, it is all wick. So right off the bat, immediately I want to check that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so that A, B, C. All right, so I'm with you there. I could live with that. Since that's a rejection wick. All right, so I like it. Okay, 3. Whoa, a little skinny there. Oof. You don't have much to work with there, do you? That's the only little kickback you get. Gonna be tough to dig an impulse out of that. It looks more like an ABC, really. ABC. I can't tell from this as to whether you're playing it that way. Ooh, that's gonna be gnarly. All right, let's think about that. Well, if this is the 1, oh shit! Here, I gotta change the color. All right, what are we completing there? Is that the largest degree 1? Looks like yes. Oh fuck. One, two. Oh, see. All right, so here's good example of why these are a little crazy in their size. All right, so if this is the 1, 2, we're trying to get, well, there's a lot more to go here. So let's get all these up here. You guys are using these giant degrees here. If you use them, you're going to run out of degrees. So it's just me. I don't know. Maybe it's just visually. I always like to use the smaller degrees. So I've got plenty of potential degrees to go to, right? If I keep going, this is tricky in here. Okay, so W, X, Y, X, Z. All right, I can live with that. This was our alternate that we considered 3, 4, and then 5. Then we would have completed something. So you'd be looking for something deeper here. This looks kind of sideways. Okay, well, let's consider the possibility. So if this is the 2, and we did complete here, if this is a 1, right, we don't have anything here. Could that be the 1? Let's go. That'd be the 1 here from off of this 2. 1, 2. All right, so you're trying to play it that it's 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So well, this one I gotta say doesn't just off of look, right? It doesn't quite look right. 3, 4, 5. I mean, is it possible? Yeah. It's kind of ugly. Particularly with this, that looks like a. It's like it's a flat, right? So you're basically coming back down here. I mean, okay, it could go. I want this a little bit lower here. So here you're counting on the fact that this is right. So if you're going to take this trade, and I'm not saying don't take it, but if you're counting on this all being a 4, essentially. Whether it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So I think that looks like the cleaner count. That the 3 would be up here. So if you're playing for the long side, then all of this is still all to come. That's still got room to go. That's probably hard to follow. 1, 2, 3. So let's again back to the measuring. 1, 2. Okay, 2, 2, 2, 7. So maybe you get the 3 here. Just because it's sideways, it gives it the impression of being a 4. So you'd have to go 1, 2, 3, A, B, C into the 4 up for the 5. So you still have a candidate here for this 3. This just the sideways nature of it. So look here, I've got short and sharp and a clear A, B, C, and then I've got all this complexity as we go sideways into the 4. So I think that 4 is not unreasonable to consider there. Oh, where the fuck is it? That's this one. All right, so that 4 is over here, so you got one more. So what you're after here is that. And then it starts to clean up the look of it a little bit. It just starts to feel like, okay, this looks like an impulse to me, right? That starts to feel better. You know, does it have the right look? Kind of a question. Right, so I do that, right? So because I do it for myself. Does that look right? Does that have the right look? I think that might be an alternate to consider here. Now, if we get something deeper here and we're going to get a deeper retracement here, I'd be mindful of those levels coming back down. So if that's 2, right there. All right, so the 4 down here, playing off of some of this, looks pretty reasonable. We got that. All right, use everything. Right, you got that sitting here right ahead of the golden zone. Looks like that got tested. Well, you can see it got tested right here, and again tested here. So down here for the 4, if this got a little weaker, well, so you've got the trade set up to go right there, on the idea that we've gone 1, 2, and that that the 4 is in, right, which is not unreasonable, right? So even in the modified count, essentially what I'm doing is taking that out, and you're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into the 3. This is the 4, and we're starting off into the 1, 2. So all of this would imply that that's all yet to come. So you're in here. All right. So let's go now that we got some clarity on this. Where are we? Right here. So we're looking to get into this. That looks like you're thinking 7, 8, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5. So that was the diag that we checked, right? So from this low. Yeah, I'm not sure what we're doing there. 1, 2, 3. But it looks like this could have more. Well, that's a little skinny there. And that's the truncation. 1, 2. Well, it's possible. 4, 5. Front run on the golden zone. C would be in. This would be the 2. That would make sense. That would make sense. Okay. All right. So I like it. So now well, so either you're already in here off of the idea that 5 is in, or we've done 1, 2, and we're in the 1, 2 of the 3. It looks like it's done. So the 2 looks like that's in. So working off of this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 looks pretty reasonable. Let's go put it in white. So that's the question, right? Did we finish here? Oh, so again, what can I use to determine that? Well, remember, if this is a truncation for the fifth, I'm going to use that per Elliott rule set. I'm going to take the A low. Well, I would check both, right, just to see, is there something here I'm missing? But if I go here, right, on the proposed A, like just working off the Elliott count, well, I get a little confluence pocket here. So I've got the 100 splitting the golden zone. So for that to come a little shy, you can kind of see how that might make sense. You've got all of this structure in here. All right, we looked at that, right? Part resistance, 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 support, support. Now, if we start to go, so you could trade this right here, because if this is going to hold, so either it's 1 and that's A, B, and you're going to get a deeper 2, or you've got your 2. And you're just getting, that's the 1, 2 of the 3. So you'd be anticipating, right? And this is, does it do what you're anticipating? Right? That's what you're looking for right there to get into that 3. So if this is the 1 and that's going to be the 2 at this degree, right? We're still trying to finish the 5th. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, right? Often it's not, I saw this quote and now I'm going to try and remember it. It's not what the market does, it's what it's supposed to do and doesn't. So think about that for a second. So if you've gone through all the work, I spent 20 minutes to try and work through a count here to get this thing right. So, okay, I can see a path here for this to be over and put in the 1, 2. This was difficult, right? So that's a difficult diag to get labeled correctly and double check everything and account for the 5s, but it's solid, right? So there's a good looking diag there. This is a little funky. You wouldn't choose that to have to truncate anywhere, but I can finish it here. And the 4 to the 5 looks like the better solution. It's tradable. So 1, 2, you can buy it here. I see there's no reason to take this below that pivot, because if it's going below that, then this is you're going to get a deeper correction. So what is it supposed to do? Now, if it does it, well, you got a nice little trade here. If it doesn't, you don't want to sit with it. You want to get out as quickly as possible, because the assumption here is it's 1, 2 and you're into the 1, 2. If it doesn't do that and it starts to roll over, then you got to reevaluate down here. Were we done here? Is this A, B, C part of a W, X, and we're going to go deeper? So there's a very low risk trade here. You can see how that could come down, go further, and then go. I wouldn't hold it. Personally, I'd rather take the small loser here and then reevaluate. Do I like it just as much down here? I mean, I've got a golden zone, but does the Elliott count support the idea that I could be finishing my 2 down here relative to this leading diag into the 1, right? And then you'd be back here looking at that truncation going, did I have to rethink that? This is the lowest low here, lower than that low. That's how I'd approach it. All right, God, I gave that one a lot of time. You guys some challenging counts. All right, so hopefully that's not boring people to tears, but hopefully that thought process helps a little bit in terms of how you guys would approach it, right? See, it's one thing when I'm here kind of walking through it. It's another thing when you're doing it by yourself going, fuck, I don't know, man, should I trade it here or not, right? I'm just right. Again, remember, keep perspective on it. It's pretty easy to look at this and go, boy, that sure looks like a whole lot of consolidation. Looks Wyckofian, right? Doesn't it? Your little spring. Now we're going to go up here. You can just, we're going sideways. So pull the thing out. Don't get caught. It's very easy to go down to the 30-minute and the 60-minute, and you get caught in all that detail, and you lose the bigger perspective. What are we trying to do? Is this the 4, or are we going to have a deeper 4? You can kind of see how this could just keep going sideways. Sharp, sideways. Okay, hoping that's helping. Very good one to work on, Frayed 57. I think that you posted that a couple of times. It's very challenging technically. That's a rough one. Okay, let me keep moving here. I got next up. I've got Zafar with Neo. I think this is one he posts pretty regularly. I think this is one that he must be in. Zafar. I think he posted this last week, so there must be one you're keeping a close eye on. Oh, you're giving me line charts. Okay. Well, I'm going to assume there's a reason. With Neo, that's not uncommon. I'm going to guess there's a lot of slop. Okay, so you gave it to me with a line chart in log. Interesting. Okay, well, so I'm curious as to why we're in a log chart. So right off the bat here, let's just take it out and then see why we're there. I'm assuming it's off of all of this wickiness. I'm going to just hide the volume just to keep up a little more space down below. All right, so I got, what are we on? We're on a 3 hour, so I got to pull out to get some perspective here. Okay, the big leading die. Yeah, I remember this. We did this last week. Okay, so looks like it's on track here. So we've got a big 1 here. Let's go up. Minuet. All right, so yeah, I remember this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So a nice big fat leading diag into the 2 here. W triangle X. Nice work. A, B, C. Right. So you can see it finishes with a 3. So working backwards. Right. You can find yourself getting through that. Okay. Now 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh man. Well, I think you'd have to go here because we can't use that as part of that. So the 3 would have to go here. Looks you could do it this way, right? So it looks like a true flat there. A little squish on the, little squishy on the finish, but I'd stay with it because of what. So in hindsight, based on what comes off of it, so we get a clear. Oh, that looks like that could be triangle. Oh no, I guess you need it, right? So A, B, you need the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So you've got a good 5 coming down to get you your C of your. Oh, what are you thinking here? All right, so this, if we're going to call that an A, this isn't far enough. If you're thinking flat, right? To go A, B, C into an A, this would have to go 90%. So I would change that to a W. So I'd go W if that's going to hold as an X. Now, are we done here? Let's change the color. Okay, so if it's W, A, B, C into that, I'm taking that off just so I can see in there. That's your structure. I see what you're doing there. Okay. All right, that looks like that's all you got. Well, hey, slow down. Okay, so you can see the possible 5 in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, well, so you got kind of the same. I'm just going to hide that. Kind of the same issue here. Well, okay, so I'm just. Zafar, I'm just gonna throw out an alternate for you here, just to consider, because this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 looks pretty real. Okay, so let's get that down white. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you stay with this, well, look. So I would do that the same way. So let's take that out. Let's go this way and go up a degree. Yeah, all right, so we'd have A, B, C. I just have it. I put them in yellow. A, B, C. So we could finish down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we get an A, B, C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So candidate for a 1. Right now, this could fall apart here. 1, 2. Now, can I get a 3, 4, 5 here? All right, let's go here. And again, just I do these so you guys do it, right? Just it'll be, you'll thank me down the road here, right? Because you won't get lost. So that looks like, since I got to finish with a 3, I got to work backwards, and that's, so it looks like I could go W, X, Y. So that's what I would do if I'm labeling all the way, W, X, Y. So for a candidate for the 2, oh, come here. Just again, habit, I do those in green. Okay, so I've got a deep 2, but it plays, right? Oh, shit, it doesn't matter. Okay, so that very deep, looks like that's 887 or even further. We got 786. Okay, so good contender for a 2. So 1, 2. Now, what comes off of this? Not enough there yet. Here, so let's see what I have there. Oh, I'm on an 8. Let's go to a 2. Oh, that's pretty ugly. Maybe that's why you're in line charts. Now let's see it in line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it looks like that's 1, 2. 2, 3, 4, 5. That's why you're in line chart. What do you do with that, right? That just completely fucks up your count. Well, let's just try here. 1, 2. Oh, it looks like it overlaps. So, yeah, it does. All right, again, there's a reason for the method in the madness. Okay, so wicking off the 1, right? So I can see here, so I don't like that. Now this could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the 3. You could do it that way. 4, so I avoid the overlap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That works. Okay, so let's carry on with that as just an alternate here that would be more bullish. I'm guessing, I think so far you're long here, or you like this one on the long side. So I hopefully I'm giving you something more bullish. All right, well, that's a start. Yikes. This is just inherent in crypto. Same thing as that, right? Just somebody got bent over there. So if that's 1, 2, well, looks like there's a diag in there. So let's label it up. Okay, so that looks like 1, 2. That would have to be 1 again. So let's take that up. Sub. Let's go to white. So if that's 1, 2, well, it looks like I can go A, B. It looks like I could do it. Looks like there's a diag in there that works. Okay, so what am I on the 2? Let's go to, well, let's try the hour, see if I can get it. It looks like it's diag followed by diag. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, let's label it all. And then, again, this is just kind of how I will do it. Just I want to sketch something out and then say, okay, does it fit? Does it work? Does it qualify? All right, well, okay, if that's 1, 2, okay, maybe. That's too big. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Leading diag, 5 longer than 3, 3 longer than 1. A, B, C into the 2. Well, so that has to be another degree, so I'm going to take this one up already. So this one would have to be 1 here. So that has to be 1, A, B, C into the 2. That would have to be the 1, 2 of the 3. So this 3, 4, 5 goes up here. So let's go micro into blue. All right, so that's a contender. It's not what you'd hope for, but if you're going to have a 1, 2, right, we're looking for a 3. You need a 1 in the 3. That's a little extreme, but it looks like it's another 786 actually. So if that's the 2 and that's the 1, right? So another 786, just as we did over here. Okay, let's play it out. So if that's 1, 2, that would be the 1 of the 3, just like you need a 1 here. Oh, here, let's go. So this would have to be 1, maybe that's 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so that's got to come down. Let's go back to white. Let's come back to sub. Okay, so 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. All right, so one of these is going to have to hit their targets. So there's 1. If that's going to hold the 2, that's the one that's in play right now. I'm looking for that 3 up here. Now, do you see all this? If that's all in the same degree and the same color, you're fucked. You don't know what's what. and then you're putting the wave on to try and figure it out. That's why I take the time to do it, just to kind of demonstrate. You're going to end up with a cluster over here and not know what's connected to what. 1, 2. You're trying to get one of these to pop. Looks like there's a pretty nice, I'm in log here, but you might be able to play some of this channeling here. I'd start with that one, and then, oh, you can't double in log scale, but that's what I'd be looking to do. So note that's all wick that's coming through that. So if that's 1, 2, one of these has to go and get a big 3 because you're not getting it. Otherwise, you're going to have to reevaluate and say, well, why am I stalling here? Is there something I'm not seeing from above? Why can't I break through? Okay, well, just now get a little perspective. Okay, what do we know? We don't even have to wonder about it, right? We know we're going to run into on the way back. All right, we know we're going to run into this. So what are we running into here? We're running into all of this. So see, the price action guy doesn't care about this. He's going to say, well, I'm running into all of that. I like to do one. Oh, what do I usually do here? Oh, fuck, here, never mind. Okay, so here, I'm just kind of drawing this across saying, okay, well, all of this, so support, resistance. Now we're running into the resistance, so all we're doing is banging into the sell side algo, who's got a target down here. So if this, all right, so we're back to, what did we finish up here? And shame on me, I didn't label it. All right, so let's get that done. So if this is the 2, this is the 1, 2, and we're looking for 3, 4, 5. So again, got to get that all accounted for. So that's got to go. Oh, that might be bigger than I need, but we'll go to micro here. Okay, so now we got to pull out and say, okay, where the hell are we? Okay, so 1, 2 is what we're trying to get. This all still much higher. All still has to go, right? That all goes up here. So if we are doing 1, 2, well, it's gonna be harder for you guys to see this, but what are we trying to do? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, right? 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're looking for impulses to come out of here. Let's get that out of there. But first thing we got to clear is the golden zone from this pivot, right? And then as soon as we clear that one, then we got to clear that one. Right, from the absolute, well, pardon me. Come here. On that one, you're clearing it from here. So, so let me draw this out. Okay, so first thing we have to clear is this one, right? So that we avoid that, right? Because you could still do an ABC here, right? And you as long as you stay above that pivot, you would still have a contender for the 2 to be over here. If it's going to hold as that 2, well, the first thing we got to do is clear the algo from this one. Right, so you got to clear this one first. Now, if you break this one, you don't go here, right? Because you're not working off the lowest low. Now you're going here, right? Just making that distinction because that would be an easy mistake to make, right? You think, oh shit, there's the golden zone. Nope, no, it's always the dominant to the dominant. Okay, so, all right, so hopefully that helped. This I like this trade actually. I like this. So the 1, 2, 1, 2, if that's going to play, very, very bullish. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2. You got this. Well, now we're kind of coming back into contact with the trend lines from the leading diag. Again, just a little more confluence support here. So 1, 2. Boy, so look what we're trying to do there is get into the 1. Well, we're just trying to complete the 1. All right, so let's measure it. So we have targets. If this 1 is going to hold, and that's the 2. There's the 3. Might as well, I mean, if you're going to place them somewhere, put them in the high probability zones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What you're trying to do, let me take this one off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is what you're after here, coming off of this. Now, is that going to be the 3? Well, could be. Could be, but pay attention to what the targets are. This is the 3 you're looking for up here. So if we do it here, are we done? Well, we'd have 100, right? So you'd have at least a mile marker here to say, okay, well, at least it's longer than the 1. You know, for a cryptocurrency with the upside potential of NEO, would you anticipate that that's the 3? Probably not. Could be. right? You don't know, right? Nobody knows, right? Nothing says it has to come up here. Shit, it could go, 5 times that. But just looking at it, so additionally, what we'd have here is a corner pocket, not a golden. You see how that it all, you see, that's kind of the magic of it. You're down here in, down at a 30-minute, working through all that subdivision. You get it and you go, okay, that looks like that's what's under play. And then you pull all the way back out, and then you put the geometry on, and you're like, holy shit. I got a median line right in the spot where I'm anticipating finding the 3. Now I'm fired up. Now I'm like, oh shit, this is on my A list, right? So in my watch list, I will keep things that I'm watching closely because I love it, and then I'll have B, right? Could be maybe C. All right, eventually if it gets there, I'll take a look at it. So this goes on A list because the potential here, if this is 1, 2, we're going to do the 3 here? Probably not. So now you're already thinking, well, this could really go. 1, 2, 3. Now we're going big time. Now we're going way up here. Of course, you'd have another set of median lines to draw on that. But let's see if we can get the 1, 2, 1, 2 going. Now you're looking for a home run. And Neo certainly is capable of it. Jesus. Now I'm in log scale. Well, it's a train wreck if you come out of log. Right? There's plenty of volatility. Oh, it's just, you couldn't even do it without log, right? It'd be almost impossible to get any of that subdivision to play. So good one. Zafar, that's a good one. I know you're on top of this one because you posted a couple. Hopefully that helps you give some new things to thought. I think I ended up with something more bullish than your count, if I recall the way you were doing this. You had this already done. See, now you're using tiny little, unless I did that. No, I shouldn't. Now I can't even remember. Okay, all right, good job, Zafar. Oh, wait, you give me an ETH too. Okay, let me do that since we're pretty good on time. Oh shit. Okay, I haven't been looking at the chat. Okay, all right. Boeing, glad to be here. Boeing, Ben. Oh, Ben, asking about Boeing. Okay. Well, we'll take a look at it if we got time. So let me pop that. So this is when I get a breather here. I can check the chat and see if you guys are, 1, if anybody's watching, and 2, what you guys are talking about. Okay, so what do we got here? Ethereum to the dollar. Okay, well, we've looked at Ethereum a couple times recently, but here's a different look at it. Okay, so we're working COVID low. Yeah, okay, working off the COVID low. All right, Zafar, you didn't give me a whole lot, so I'm just going to assume that this is implied. 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go up. Let's put them nice and bright. All right, so I got to assume that's what you're thinking since this is the COVID low. Okay, so going into not a diag. You just got kind of a series of trend lines on that. Okay, why is this here? Okay, so I see what you're doing. You're giving me the waves on that. Okay, so let's break it down. Okay, 1, 2. So this would be, the implication here would be that we're in the 1. Oh, okay, so this is monster bull. Monster bull. All right, already, look where we're going up here. Could Ethereum go to 150, 200K? Why not? I mean, let's think about this, right? Would that be consistent with what we see here? Well, is that 1 point? No, that's 1.15 million. We're in log scale. That's 700K. That's 1.15 million. Could we go that high? I feel a little bit like I just took a big hit off the hopium pipe, but why not, right? That's maybe about as bullish a call as I've seen in Ethereum. That we're going over 1 million in Ethereum. Bitcoin all day over 1 million, but Ethereum, why not? All right, well, let's break it down. If that's 1, 2, all right, let's see how this plays in here. Okay, so how do we look coming out of the chute here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm with you here. All right, now I can go a little bigger on these. Let's brighten them up a little bit. Okay, you went. Well, you took my suggestion and you went super small. Okay, so 1, 2. Oh yeah. This is kind of a cluster here. You kind of have to. That has to be 4, 5. You got to go A, B, C. So you have to do it that way for that 2. I remember when I worked on this for last week's Bitcoin Friday. Do you see these little pattern like this, right? So it looks like it's a 5 here, but it's possible you've got the truncation here. But this looks like a 5. So this is one where you're kind of stuck. So you'd likely have to do this here, right? If you're really being granular about it, you'd have to do the A, the B, and it looks like it comes down for a 5 into that C. So it looks like you'd do it that way. A, B. Now I'm on a daily here. A, B, C, because you need this 1, 2, 3, 4. You need it. Even though it overlaps, so now you're going to have to do it as an ABC, or pardon me, as a diag. It still works because it's the 5th. And, it looks like it's expanding, so 3 longer than 1, 5 longer than 3. A, nice work, triangle, right? It's just, I make that comment because this is one of the last things people get. It's one of the things that's, hint, hint, on our tests. Where are the triangles? Because once you key in that I can have them in B and X, it kind of opens up the board to you. Let's go here. Let's go to blue here. Oh, no, let's alternate. Okay, so that would be 3, WXY, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I'm liking this count. So, it's not going to be that. Oops, what happened there? Okay, so we're trying to get the 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. We got a diag coming out of here. It looks good. 1, 2. Ooh, that's about as close as they can get. But it does it, right? Clears it. All right, so you're good there. So that probably has to come up here. So this would be down here. So, oh shit. All right, did that one clear it too? Did these both all clear? Yeah, they did. Okay, so you can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into the 1. Well, here. A, B, C into the 2. Whew, they don't get any deeper than that. So the 4 would have to be over here. So there's the 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into the 1. Skinny, but we are on the daily. Well, so right off the bat, first thing I'm going to check is, okay, how does the 4 look? Right to the 50, right? Look where the algo target is, right? So it looks like that's clearly algo's having a nice little pop there. So, right, I mean, that's what they do. Oh, again, just kind of force a habit. Here, I'd be wicking that off. Maybe that's what you were trying to do here. Oh, that was your... Oh, I see what that was. That was your E, right? So you were going A, B, C, D, E, right? So actually, I think it goes here. If you're going triangle here. Oh, wait a second. So if we're going, so this is the A here, A, B, C, D, E. I think you do it that way. And then down here and we finish 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2. So that looks like the 4. So again, just for sense of proportion, right? So 1, 2, or so where's my high probability zone? Could this be 3, 4, 5? Well, okay, so well, let's think about that, right? So looks like you could finish this. So based on where we went here, so this could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Ooh, it gets a little skinny there. Well, okay, so let's that's a possibility. Let's bring this over a little bit. Okay, if this had completed here, what's the depth? And that's where we come back to, right? So if we're going down a little bit with just those extra ticks, so front run, could it be this, right? This is what I would be. I'd have to really dig on that. Can I really finish that there? Well, either way, you're struck. You got to finish it there. If that's the. Let's think about that. Well, the relationships look a little bit better. I don't have a 2 in here. Let's go down to the 4 hour here. The symmetry plays better if the 2, if that's the 4. The time balance is better. Can I finish that? Yeah, let's go with this. I think this looks like it plays better. I'm going to do one other little thing here. So that where's the 2? So you'd have to go 1, 2 here. Well, that may not help. Well, that's your deepest retracement, so that's all you got to work with. So you have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, let's see if we can make that work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see if that works. Put it in yellow here. 1, 2. 1, 2. Oh. 3, 4, 5, A, B, C. Oh, that looks like that could work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oof. It's skinny, but it looks like you could do it. That's the lower low. So you could use it if you needed it. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, let's see if we can finish that. 1, 2. Ah. You're stuck with it. That's all you get. So let's push that up for a second. 1, 2, but look at the 4 to the 2. I can't say I love it, but I need this 1, 2. Fuck. That has to be the 4. That has to be the 1. I need this 1, 2 here. Well, let's. All right, this is just about the time I start thinking to myself, do I want to go into this much detail on a live stream, or is this just boring the fuck out of people? All right, so 1, 2, and see if I can get it there. Maybe. Yep, I can. Okay, so I can make that work. So I can get the 3, 4 here. So I can get the internal. So this goes up a degree. All right, so that helps. Okay, so we can do the 3. This is obvious 4-ish. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I can finish it there. All right, so that works. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what did I finish there? Let's take this up. Micro comes back to blue. Okay, let's pull out here. Okay, so all of that, right? I know that's probably boring as hell, but I'd rather not give you something other than the reality of of the amount of work that's involved in this, right? And some people doing this, like it's like, oh, what a pain in the ass. Can't I just draw lines? If you're into it, you'll get to the point to where it almost becomes like a challenge, right? So that's why yesterday when I couldn't get, what was it? Phantom, right? That was going to bug me all day until I came back and worked with it until I could get it. And if I couldn't get it, then that might affect what you're doing, right? So you either love this or you hate it. It's a puzzle you're trying to solve. And if you can solve the puzzle, and you get, essentially, you create the opportunity to be rewarded from that, right? Doesn't always mean you're rewarded. But I'm kind of in that, is this just too boring to watch, right? I'm on the edge there. I got Bentley B saying he likes the detail, so okay, I'm hoping that's the consensus here, or no one would ever watch here. Okay, so it looks like this is 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, looks like we're still going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I've got an impulse there. So I've got to go A, B, C into the 2. That looks like just like Bitcoin and a bunch of other ones did the same thing. Well, of course, being Ethereum. So we looked at this. This in Bitcoin is almost identical. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Now what are we doing here? Looks like I can go 1, 2. Well, let's think about that. Could that go further? All right, let's. Just for consistency, right? Just you'll thank me later. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 there. I could do it here. I don't really want to do it there. I mean that's there, but now I'm still going, so I don't love it. All right, so right off the bat, right? So hopefully you guys are thinking right now, we'll just measure it. All right, so there's pretty damn close. 1, 2. So I would leave it there. So what? But I don't have a retracement. So if this keeps going, you're kind of forced to do this, right? So we've got to put an extension in the third because there's a nice flat right there. So could that be 1, 2? So you'd have to do it here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I can work backwards. So you've got this. You've got this there that you can use. Okay, so if I work backwards with that, we'll go yellow here. Okay, so can I make that fit? Because there's a 5 that's in there. So I've got that 5. So can I work backwards? So this would have to be the 5 of this 3. So 5. So 4, 3, 4, 5. So 3 can now. So I'd have to go. Oh fuck, that's gnarly. But it looks like you could do it. I am on a 4-hour. Looks like you could do it. Well, looks like you have to do that as WXY. So that's a oh fuck, I guess you could do it either way. You could go A, B, C. Oh shit, I don't know that it matters here. 1, 2, but that's your good one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You could do it here, but then you need that 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Shit, it works. You can do it. Okay, so that's good. All right, so we can work with the extension, which is a good thing because it's still going. 3, A, B, C looks like just a textbook flat, right? You can just look at it and say, well, shit, look at it. All we do is a box, right? A, B, C, right? That's why they call it a flat. All right, so let's just little things like, so that's clearly the support here. 3, 4. 1, 2. Does it look? It looks like that's a 50, or close to it. 50. All right. So are we in the 5th? Looks like we could be. All right. So this count. This is a monster bull count. Zafar, nice work, man. I think this is a nice alt to what I had posted. I like this count. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're still seeking the 5 here. Now, what are we trying to finish? Oh, let's go up to minuet. Let's put that in. Let's go back to the green here. Okay, so let's see how the whole thing breaks down. All right, here's where you're kind of hoping that the magic works, right? That you didn't lose it in all that detail. So the 1, 2, 3, 4, right? This all looks pretty good now. So coming off of this is the 4, right? So here's the clear 1, right? The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So, it is a diag, but it works, right? You can see it. All right, we got the overlap here, so we've got to go A, B, C, right? That's A. Well, you'd have to do A, B. Oh fuck. Oh, how are we gonna do that? A, B, C, because we might have to do WXY. W, X, A, B, C, because you're finishing with a 3. Oh fuck, I don't know that it matters here, right? So that it's sharp correction. Sharp as well, more complex. So the alternation is fair. It looks like it's pretty close. So this is another, right? Something to consider. The 4 relative to the 2. So I want to see if it's not going to be 100. I want to see some confluence. I got the 1272 to the tick. All right. So there's some fib confluence here between the 2 and the 4. This being a little bit deeper. And then I think we looked at this, right? It was a perfect 50. Right, so just front run. So there's a nice little combo, right? So I'm looking, what can I stack there? What else is there that nobody else is going to take the time to look at? All right, how many price action traders did that? Do they care? Well, do they care? All right, so let's think about that. Do they care? Or are they just going to work off of prior structure? Resistance, support. Right. So why do I do all this? Because in addition to what the price action guy is saying, I've got additional confluence here. So I'm more comfortable taking it there because I got all this additional benefit here plus an Elliott count. Right. This is certainly certainly, obviously, much harder. Much harder. Because you could take all this shit off and just draw that and say, well, if I'm going to pull back to a 50, what else is there? It looks to me like there's probably a measured move in here as well. Oh, did I miss it? Looks like I might be off here. Looks like it broke. Yep, did. If I got this. No, maybe not. Hang on. Yep, one little fucker, but obviously they stayed with it. Here's the clear 5 to finish it. Yep, that's enough, right, to make you... Well, so if you assume that the sell side here gets stopped out, well, then the buy side gets stopped out as well, because the buy side is going to work from here, right? And once that comes down, so that happens all the time. As I'll remind you, they don't care, because once they get them, they'll get 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in a row. 1, 2, 3, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is still got legs. There's no reason to assume anything other than more highs to come. 1, 2. We're seeking that 3. Good one so far. Good, very good one. Right, nice initial launch for me to kind of dig in there, and I think you added what you had is very, very well done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we continue to roll on. We're sitting at an all-time high as we sit here. Now, is that a good place to enter the market? Well, hopefully you guys have watched enough that I would tell you no, not, right? So, well, if here would have been okay, right? At least you're not buying at the breakout. Now, here's the breakout. Well, right, if we're looking for legs there, nothing says it couldn't go. It's just if I have my choice, I want to buy on the retrace, not on the breakout, right? That's just, I think I've dwelled on that quite enough. But in terms of looking for targets, same thing every time, right? So length of the 1 projected from the 2. This is where we're looking for it. 51.67. So either you take the breakout, which I'd be careful doing it. So if this is going to play as the 3, let's take that up a degree. You can kind of see how the potential that's there. All right, if that's 1, 2, got to keep going. Right, 3, 4, 5. But this is if that's 1, 2, I got to have an impulse here again. So let's go. Do I have an impulse? A, B, C. 1, 2. 1, 2. Well, you might. Again, measure again. Is that the 1? And that the 2? It's long enough. A, B, well, that's kind of, that actually looks like a triangle, which you can't have there. 1, 2, 3. Actually, you could do it this way. So why do I immediately move that? Because that looks like a triangle, and you cannot, a rule you can't break. You can't put a triangle in the second. So, but you can put it in the 4, and then we wouldn't have any overlap here. So possible that we're going to get an extension here. This is in the 5th. What am I on? 1 hour? Let's go to the 15. So I would actually put it over here. Right here. So you got a little triangle in there, which makes you immediately think 4. If that's the 4. Looks like that's the 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Careful there on that one, right? So one more reason to be careful of buying breakouts. If that's the 1 and that's the 4, we're pretty extended here. Wait, let's see. So let's finish it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sub. It's ugly. So how do we do with regards to the look? Right? Does it have the look that you really want? It's not terrible. Right, the 2 and the 4 are very imbalanced, but it's not like we don't see that. That wouldn't be what you'd choose, right? You liked it better over here. at least you'd have had this short one here relative to this one, but that looks like it's a pretty clear triangle. A, B, C, D, E, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I need this 1, 2 here to complete that. So that looks like I'd be a little caution there. We'll see how we look down here. Oh man, you got these really compressed. Well, we just go right to the RSI. Okay, so I've got it's possible here. It's a little squishy. I can't say I love it, but I can't make that the 2. So, you can see it. All right, pretty clear divergence between these two. Now, that could easily pop back up here, and then it's back onto the races here. But so just working through that count, I would make me pause. I recognize the 1, 2. I mean, you could perhaps. I know looking at it, you want to do this. I want to do it too. But you stuck with the triangle, right? So that's why I would caution against that. But the fact that I've got a 5 here that completes, I would be hesitant with this and this and this and this and this. I'd be reluctant to be a buyer there. Well, I don't like to buy anyway. I think I made that pretty clear. I wouldn't buy a breakout. Now, if this gets a little farther, let's think about that. You might be back here rethinking all of this, and it remains to be seen how we deal with that. That's going to be hard to deal with. You got a 5 there. You'd have to truncate it. I don't think you can do it because the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the 1 comes right out of it. I don't think you can do it. I think you're stuck with this until the market forces you to change it, which happens a lot, right? As an Elliottician, it happens a lot, right? You got to deal with it, right? So right now, because of that, you want to put the 4 there, which would imply that we're done. So if I'm looking for an entry, I don't know that we're done, right? We can't say that. That's not enough to call it done, clearly. But if I could get something like this, right now, coming into all of this, right? The volume profile is going to have a big high volume node here because we stayed here. So that's what I might look for. But of course, right? If that comes, if I don't have it, maybe I get a golden. Be sure to plan for that. Because the implication here is coming off of this is a larger degree 4. That should go up. 1, 2 is what we're doing. So let's pull this all back. Let's go to a 2-hour. All right, still looking for all of this still to come. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, is that going to be the 5 of the 1? Interesting. Very good one. Okay, I should keep moving. God, I can go for hours on this. I forget there's funny thing. I forget there's actually people watching. I get in my own little head. I'm trying to solve the puzzle, right? That's what it is, right? You either love it or you hate it. Okay, let me keep moving because I went a long time. Okay, I got Berlin on wax. I don't think I've looked at wax. Okay, how are we doing? Okay, Alejandro Ramirez. Oh, good. I'm glad you guys get something out of it because I feel a bit of time pressure when I'm doing it, but I don't want to give you a sloppy count because then it's like, why do I watch this guy do sloppy counts? And if I can't get it, like yesterday, I'm like, I can't get this in time, guys. I'm going to tell you, but I'll come back and finish it. Oh, look at this. Okay, what do we got here, Berlin? This looks interesting. So you're sending it to me out of log. I'm going to just take a peek at it here in log, see how that looks. Boy, this is what gives crypto a bad name. That shit right there. Unfortunately, we have to deal with that. So let's just look how that looks when we take that out of that. Okay, I like your thinking here. Wow, we got some history. How far do we go back? Oh, we must have looked at this before. So that must be your lowest low, right? Yeah. Yeah, okay. Oh, it looks like order block? Maybe. I'm not sure what you're doing there. Or some money magic. Oh, that you're just working the pivot. Okay, so here I'm gonna hide these just to clean it up a little bit so I can get a better look in here. And I'm gonna hide the volume just for more screen space. Okay, whoa, this is a tough one. Okay, so we're gonna ignore that. This is your COVID low? No. Where's your fuck? There's your COVID low. Okay, there's your COVID low right there. So, Well, that seems the most reasonable approach here is to work. Call this your 1. So you don't, fuck, this is a little fucked. You want to put the 1, 2 here. So in line, yeah, see, I want to go, I don't have much of a 2 there. Well, you don't have good Elliott ball here. Well, let's look at a couple things here. So this you're stuck with doing log scale here. Okay, so let's think about that. Well, it looks like you're going with, how are you getting that? How are you getting that 1? Well, I see what you're doing here with this impulse. Well, what are we? This is the hard part. What are we doing over here, Berlin? You kind of left me hanging over here. I'd be more inclined to put that there, and this here. Now, of course, that forces the diag, and maybe that's why you didn't want to do that. All right, let's see if it can work that way. All right, so you're trying to complete this over here. Okay, so so we could go A, B, C. So we'd have a flat here. Well, let's just label it up. All right, so this is some sort of cluster F down there. Is that the lower low? I think it is. Okay, so 1, 2. So I might do it this way. You gotta account for these, right? We can't just go, well, that's annoying that I can't figure that out, so I'll just put this somewhere else. Do it this way. All right, so when I have something like this, do you see what just a tendency, this will typically all be connected, right? So if I can connect that, I don't want to include this in this. So I want to see if I can complete the whole thing right here. Because this is the impulsive move. This is the correction of it. So I don't want to make this part of this. This seems to fit a little bit better. So let's go. So this corrects it. So working off of this as the dominant, what do we get here? Well, let's see, we're going A, B here. So what are we going to use? Well, algo is not going to care. It's going to use the pivot. So we get slight front run on the golden zone, assuming I'm good there. A, B, C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what is this? A 1, 2? Well, we've got the overlap, so 1, 2. Can we get an ABC into that? Well, so actually, this has to be the 4. Well, let's see, we're on a daily. That might actually require that. Okay, so can I make this work here? Well, now this actually is going to be a little bit more problematic because now I've got an impulse in the context of if that's the 1, 1, 2, 4, 5. Actually, you might have to do it here. If that's the 1. All right, so right off the bat, looks like a triangle. Can never be a triangle, but I got an ABC here, so I can get a 1, 2. Oh fuck, this is a tough one. WXY might fit better here. 2, 3, 4. Looks like you could do a 3, a 4, and a 5. Right. So why am I doing this? Because I'm looking at this. If this is going to overlap the 1, I got to do this as an ABC. Looks like that could work. So this would have to be A. I'm going to have to look in there. A, B, C. So I got a 5, 3, and then I got a nice 5 here to finish that. So let's take that up a degree. Okay. All right. So we're on a 4. Let's go to an 8. Okay. So 1, 2, 3. Let's hold you over here and take you down. Micro. Okay. Big 4, but a technical 4. 1, 2. Let's just take a look. Let's check. All right, so if you spot something that looks iffy, always worth checking. Plenty good there. Okay, so I'm plenty good there. Oh, fuck. WXY. So you're finishing with an ABC. So just, I don't know that it matters much here, but right at this point, looks like that's what you end up with there, something complex. So, excuse me. It takes more time, but you'd call this sideways and this sharp. Okay, so coming off of that, so we're still playing to finish a leading diag. Oh shit! Come back to the daily. So it ends up, it's quite bullish. If this is going to go, well, okay, so 2 things. Oh fuck, get out of there. Remember, in a diag, we're looking for the 4 at the 50. So that now it starts to. Now the shape of it starts to clear up a little bit here. Okay, so I've got 1, 2, candidate 3, 4. Okay, so now I'm trying to finish this 5, but I'm trying to do it through an ABC because it's a diag, right? Per this count, right? So Berlin, again, it's not. I'm just giving you another way to look at it, right? It could very well be that the way you counted it ends up with what we get here, but it's just working through it one swing at a time. This is starting to be what I'm starting to see here. And plus in a diag, it's more common to do 1, 2, 7, 1, 3, 8 than the 1, 6, 1, 8. So 1, 2, 3. So everything is deeper because the market is struggling to establish the new trend. But I am getting a series of higher highs, higher lows, but I'm doing it through sort of an odd shaping here. Okay, so then I'd be back in terms of how you're going to draw your trend lines to try and look for that shape that you're after. Oh, you have to do it kind of like this. So you're kind of heading towards a contracting diagonal. So, but right now 3 is longer than 1. So if it's going to be a leading, the shape here. Oh shit, we'll do it like this. I guess maybe if we do it this way, we'll balance it out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the 5 here, since 3 is longer than 1, 5 has to be longer than 3. So we can lay out some targets here. That would be an invalidation level. Okay, so that is a good spot here. So I'm going to move this down. Invalidation. Well, pardon me. Let's rephrase that. Validation, right there. If we get past that, then we know that this can be a viable count. So we got to get there through an A, B, C. So I would just change this to an A, B. Now we're looking for anywhere up there for the C. Oh, okay. So this looks like this is technical. I'm guessing that's what that's based off of. I'm gonna hide this and we'll bring that back. So A, B. Oh, it looks decent here. I'm gonna move that off just to use mine because it just makes more sense to me if I can see my colors. Okay, perfect 50. So I got an A. So I know I've got, so a couple things happening here. One, I know I got an algo that if you're long, you want to be on their side, right? So out here on this degree, so this is a good long. I'm approaching a target and I'm approaching that validation level. So I'm looking for the C up here. It's a little skinny for that median line. The B is so sharp, you've already likely gotten it. Well, not yet. Oof. Well, here's what you don't want to do. Come up here and ping off of that, hit the target and the median line and not make the 100. All right, then you got a little bit of a problem. Now, how much a purist are you? Right, you need to get a tick beyond that 100 to be longer than the 3. Tricky one. Tricky. So I'd wait personally. So I'm not going to, I think it'd be, I've made this pretty clear. I'm not going to buy that breakout. But I'm going to, if this is what I'm focusing on to trade, I'm really watching for that to finish because nothing says it has to stop there, but I'm really looking for that to finish. So if that whole thing can complete, then what are we looking for? All the way back down here. Oh fuck, where are you? If we get all the way up here, so there's my confirmation where at least I'm going to be one tick beyond the length of the third. So let's just use it. get that nice median line tap, right? So you got all that potential, but where's the next buy? Down here. Now you're just looking for this to fit. Well, here he's already got it marked out, right? So he's well, you were right with me then. I just got there a little bit differently. So this would be up here. This would be down here. Oh, and just my habit, right? I put corrections in yellow. So A, B, C down here. You're going to have a huge high volume node since we chopped around in here for so long. All of this looks sweet. So this would be right the watch list, right? So this would go to the C's. Like a lot has to happen before I need to come back here. So this wouldn't be on my A list where you know that action is coming soon. This is one to be on my watch list. So I put this on the C list. Let's see how it develops, right? Who knows what comes? But right now, with the snapshot in time, that looks like a good roadmap. It looks like it's, well, so if this is A, B, we know we need 5 here to finish. It looks like it's pretty well underway. Well, let's finish it up here. So 1, 2, 3, might get the median line there, 4, 5. Right, it looks like you're on the way. So again, back to just force of habit. It's a good habit to build. What did you put that in? The green? Okay, right. So here's the 1. You're paying attention here. 1, 2, working on the 3, 4, 5. Nice one, good one, Berlin. I think so you got 2 different ways to get there. Might be a function of how this finishes here, but if this holds to this 3-legged here, this swing, and you get that target there. I wouldn't push your luck too much beyond that, assuming more highs, more highs, more highs. If anything, right now you're just kind of hoping for it to retrace so you can get a nice, solid, clean, highly confident entry down here. Good stuff, guys. Really, really, really good work. Okay. What's next? Oh, shit. Okay, let's look over here. All good. Okay, so you guys, it looks like everybody's okay. So I think we're good. I don't know how to pronounce that. It looks like V-A-L-L-E, Valley. You were asking if you could post a motive wave chart. Of course. If anything, I can pull it up in motive wave, right? So absolutely, feel free to do that. But you didn't come back. You didn't post it. So I guess next up I got Grant F. This will be an easy one because his work is so tight. Right? But what you're about to see here is a setup that I'd encourage you to pay attention to. Okay, so let's get so this is traditional asset. We get far more postings in crypto than traditional, which shouldn't be surprising, right? Everybody's so excited about crypto. But a lot of times the reason I'm doing the traditionals is so you guys understand it doesn't the asset does not matter. Doesn't matter. They all trade the same way. So here's the thing with Grant, right? So he has now this has become his signature. It's an Elliott count with a harmonic built into it. So it's just one more confluence point. So look here. And always the thing I love about Grant's work is that it's a trading plan, right? It's exactly what I'm going to do. So look at the risk reward scenario here. And again, just remember, this is the essence of trading, right? So successful trading. Small loser, small winner, small loser, small loser, small winner, small loser, small winner, big winner. That's the name of the game right there. That's how it should flow. So based on his trading plan here, is there any potential for the one thing that you cannot have, which is a big loser? Now, he may only get a small winner, nice little winner. Maybe he gets a medium-sized winner. But the one thing he is not going to have here is a big loser. 15-1 there. How many little losers can you absorb from 15-1? A whole lot of them. So this is good just visually. 3 targets, small, medium, and large. No downside risk. Well, of course, right? Nobody likes to get stopped out. But at least you look at it and you say, you can't hurt me. You can't hurt me. That's what goes off in my head, right? So if I'm in a trade, I'm a little nervous. You don't want to move the stop too fast with that thinking. You got to give the market room to breathe. But if it's a technical pivot like this, and you're basing so do you see this is set up entirely off of that being the pivot low. So why would you ever do that or further? Only one reason: your ego, or psychologically, there's a lot of reasons why you might do that. So let's just cut to the bottom line. Just don't. If you get nothing else from me, this should be what you focus on, right? Which we all focus on the puzzle, right? But this is the key to it. This is the key to long-term success. It's not the puzzle solving. That's the fun part. If you like solving puzzles, otherwise, draw some lines. But otherwise, here it is, right in front of you. I've got a technical. Remember, this is all the market ever does. Right, that's all it does. Right, so, can I do it in a 5, and can I do this in a 3? Well, so to flesh that out a little bit more, what you're basically saying is that this swing and this swing, there's Elliott Wave right there, all in one little bouquet. I swing. Do I do the move, the larger move? Do I do it in a 5? If I do, well, what am I looking for? I'm looking for a 3. Do I get a 3? Now, do I get a technical 3? Well, I'm right at the golden zone. What else could be there? Oh, well, I'll be damned. There's a bat on top of it. Can I finish the C? Well, this is a little gnarly finish. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you got this ugly diagonal to finish, but I've got a 5. So while you've got a 5, it's within the context of the 3. So even though that's all we're doing it this way. Boom. How do you not take that trade? Why would you not take that trade? Well, I mean, because you got, you don't trade traditionals, you've got capital allocated somewhere else. But if you're looking for a trade, I'm not going to put a better one in front of you. Essentially, Grant's not going to put a better one in front of you. I mean, this is just a perfect trade setup. Why would you not take that? Oh, I missed it, right? Well, you're a little late, right? So Grant's already in. So maybe you get here. Well, if you get here, what are you anticipating? Right. You see how it could just all unfold. Now, is he going to do that? Well, fuck, nobody knows. But I sure like the idea of having that plan. Because remember, you mentioned this quote. It's not what the market does. It's what the market is supposed to do and doesn't. So what's it supposed to do here per this methodology and our approach to the market? It's supposed to fire a 5 out of here, but it's got to do it in a series of 5, 3, 5, 3, 5. So you can say, hey, it's supposed to fire a 5 out of there. Yeah, okay, well, I'm looking for the first swing has to be a 5 as well. Again, do I get a 5 here? If I do I have any more confidence? Yeah, I do. Because now I got what I was expecting the market to do. Right? It's what it does. You expect it to do and doesn't do. That's the problem. Now, what do I get here? Do I get a 3? Whoa, look at this. I'm right back to structure here. I can take that. I've got the 5 to give me more conviction, and that is the technical pivot. Why would you not take that trade? What are you looking for? Right? You're looking for something bigger than the first one. So already just looking at the risk reward, right, starting to look pretty friendly. Now he's using the retrace here. So this is from the swing here, anticipating that you're going to get some resistance. But I know he would have this, right? Because Grant's too good not to have done that, right? He's aware of where the golden zone and the 50 are going to be. So from this low, we've already popped that one. Oh, pardon me. We haven't got to the 50 yet. This from this one, from down here, we got to get through the 50 in that golden zone. Now, if we get through the golden zone, for it to go up here to the 786 and not see a retrace, plus you're just looking at it, right? You see this up here. Just some structural resistance that would be up here, right? People that sold this will defend there. Right, now, can they get it down here? Well, I can promise you this. There's a piece of software that's going to stay short until it gets there or it gets stopped out. All right, guys. Very well done. Really good session today, guys. I think that's all I got, unless nothing else here. Okay, guys. So I think we'll wrap up. What are we? Oh, we're pretty much. When did we start? 11:30. Oh, we went a little long. It's hard for me to do these any quicker and kind of teach in the same way. I could just whip through these and say, here you go, here you go, here you go. I don't know how much value would be there. Okay, guys, with that, I'll wrap it up for the day. Now, tomorrow you've got Money Crypto with his approach, which is different than mine. It's equally valid. It's just it's less emphasis on all the detail of the Elliott count. Still the same essential patterns in there. I would encourage you to watch those. If you haven't been to one of those sessions, I'd encourage you to watch it. It's really interesting the way he approaches the market. A lot of members are really gravitating to it or combining the two. All right, so that let's see, what's the day here? So today we got the Halloween promo here. I keep kicking this thing over here, just so you know, because we had several people last night take advantage of that. We had a couple of people go with the yearly last night, so there's still people kind of watching, paying attention here. We'll run that through midnight tomorrow, so that's still a contender for you guys. All right, with that, I'll sign off. Wish you guys a good afternoon. Don't miss Wednesday tomorrow. He'll be back for that, and then I'll be back on Friday. We may even start doing the Bitcoin Friday as a live stream. It's just so I'm doing it live. Okay, guys, have a great afternoon. Good trading. No, none of this, none of that, please. Right? Don't. There's just